Start your morning with a close-up toothbrush. Wash up with Lifebuoy or Lux. Shampoo your hair with Sunsilk and clean your clothes in Surf Excel or Wheel. From the exact moment you wake up, your daily routine is effectively monopolized by one corporation. This map visualizes a global footprint of 3.5 billion people across over 190 countries. Nearly half the global population relies on their products every single day. In India, that empire operates under the name Hindustan Unilever. The inclusion of the word Hindustan projects a deeply patriotic, homegrown identity, making it sound like a company born out of the soil of the nation itself. But that name is a carefully constructed facade. Hindustan Unilever is actually a subsidiary of Unilever plc, a British multinational corporation with roots firmly planted in the colonial era. A foreign entity born out of the British Empire survived decades of intense nationalist boycotts and strict government crackdowns to build a 7 trillion rupee monopoly. Before we see how they did it, make sure to like this video and subscribe to Joystick Heist for more deep dives into the world's biggest business empires. This massive scale was secured through a brilliant and occasionally ruthless strategy of corporate camouflage. Look at this 1885 portrait of William Hesketh Lever. He and his brother James started Lever Brothers in Britain, achieving massive success selling Sunlight soap across England and its neighboring countries. As this flowchart shows, by 1929, Lever Brothers merged with a Dutch margarine producer to form Unilever. They operated in different industries, but as the central note highlights, both companies relied on a shared ingredient, palm oil. Combining forces solved their supply chain problems overnight. By the early 1930s, Unilever had expanded into India, operating as a colonial importer, unloading boxes of British-manufactured soap at the Kolkata ports. But the political climate was rapidly shifting. Mahatma Gandhi led the Swadeshi movement, urging Indians to rely on local goods and boycott British products. Almost overnight, Unilever's imported soap sales plummeted. Facing an existential threat to their revenue, the company adapted. In 1934, they opened their first local manufacturing plant in Mumbai and launched localized products like Dalda, a cheap alternative to Desi ghee, successfully bypassing the boycott. By 1956, they consolidated their Indian operations into a new entity named Hindustan Lever Limited. They began hiring locals, placing Indian executives like Prakash Tandon in directorship roles to erase their foreign stigma. Shifting production to Mumbai and placing Indians in the boardroom was a mandatory evolutionary step to survive the collapse of the British Empire. The 1970s brought a new set of threats. The Indian government imposed severe price controls to fight inflation, forcing massive losses on consumer goods companies. To stop the financial bleeding, Hindustan Lever launched a cheap survival product called Janta soap just to stay afloat. Look at this corporate equity breakdown. The government mandated foreign multinationals surrender 51% ownership. While Coca-Cola abandoned the market, Hindustan Lever negotiated a loophole to retain majority control by committing 60% of turnover to the Indian economy and 10% to exports. With the government appeased, the company entered the 1980s distracted by a fierce rivalry. They locked horns with Procter & Gamble in the detergent wars, spending heavily on marketing to pit their Surf washing powder against P&G's Ariel. While the two multinationals focused on conquering the urban middle class, a local Indian brand named Nirma quietly captured the massive rural market right under their noses. Recognizing their mistake, the company launched a ruthless counterattack. They introduced wheel detergent at aggressively low prices, specifically formulated and marketed to claw back rural market share from Nirma. The 1991 economic liberalization then opened the floodgates. Armed with capital, Hindustan Lever went on an acquisition spree, swallowing up Tata Oil Mills, acquiring the Kissan food brand, and absorbing Lakme Cosmetics to neutralize future domestic competitors. Navigating complex regulatory loopholes and aggressively pricing out local underdogs proved far more vital to their monopoly than simply selling high-quality soap. That relentless pursuit of dominance eventually cracked their image. In 2001, at a thermometer factory in Kodaikanal, toxic mercury waste was discovered, seeping into the soil, severely poisoning local factory workers and the surrounding environment. The disaster sparked massive public protests, yet the company locked itself in a legal battle for 15 years before finally agreeing to pay compensation to the affected families in 2016. A few years later, they faced another intense public reckoning. Global movements targeting colorism targeted their flagship fairness cream, Fair and Lovely, arguing it actively promoted harmful societal discrimination. In response, the chameleon adapted its colors again. They dropped the word fair and rebranded the product to Glow and Lovely, successfully appeasing the public backlash without sacrificing their market share. Despite these public controversies, financial growth remained uninterrupted. In 2020, they merged with GSK Consumer Healthcare, acquiring beloved household brands like Horlicks and pushing their yearly turnover to an astronomical 60,000 crore rupees. Hindustan Unilever's ultimate triumph lies in an ability to embed themselves so deeply into India's daily life that the nation forgot they were a foreign entity all along.